On Fridays this morning, she's never lost for words. Sandy Totspik's in the studio. Your chance to win a fantastic holiday to anywhere in Europe. The real man behind EastEnders Sanjay, that's Deepak Verma. And Knock Knock, it's Customs crime buster Caroline Lee Johnson.
That's this morning.
Tomorrow, 10:30.
As we know, life in Sicily, Alaska is always a little on the different side. We can see the future.
I think that house took me over, just like in The Shining.
You worried about something?
0101. That's all there is to it.
Men are acting like women, and women are acting like men.
Whoa, check out the full-dress stud muffin.
He's never home on a Saturday night.
It can certainly have a strange effect on folk. Northern Exposure, tonight at 10:35 on 4.
Stunning sofa.
Super price.
Easy chair.
Easy does it.
5 years free credit.
Nothing to pay till next year.
On everything.
All you see.
All guaranteed quality.
All yours.
No deposit.
No interest.
No payments.
15% off Barclay Magna.
But hurry, it must end soon.
Tom,
Jilly.
fancy meeting you here.
At Northern Upholstery, Carcroft, Brigg, Thorpe Arch, Hull and Bradford.
Gardeners, try Markham Grange for size. 4 acres of growers' quality plants, over 1 million beautiful bargains, direct from the nurseryman, not the middleman, at prices you must come and see to believe. 20,000 hanging baskets made up every year. Where can you get a better choice or a better price? Plus Markham's famous fuchsias, and over 1 million more plants and shrubs at Markham Grange Nurseries, Broadsworth, 1 mile off the A1 between Doncaster and Wakefield.
A stolen kiss.
Not only did you sleep with my son, your pupil, but you did it in my bed.
And more. Where the Heart Is, Sunday at 8 on Yorkshire. Children's ITV this afternoon features the Riddlers, Wizardora, Oscar and Rupert. That all begins after the news headlines.
Good afternoon. The political parties have spent the day locked in a fierce clash over tax and spending. Labour said John Major's U-turn on tax rises meant he couldn't be trusted again. But the Conservatives said it was Tony Blair who kept changing his policies whenever he came under pressure.
Mr. Blair was appearing on the Jimmy Young radio show when he was challenged about whether, as Prime Minister, he'd cave in to union or party pressure to change his policies.
Nobody, no interest group, no pressure group, no trade union, no vested interest of any kind is going to stand in the way of me giving the British people the deal I have promised.
Earlier, Mr. Major had admitted that taxes had gone up since the last election, as the Institute for Fiscal Studies had said, but he stressed most people were earning more.
We've never hidden the fact that during the recession we put up taxes and we're now bringing them back again. The point the IFS also confirms is that the average family is £15 a week better off after earnings growth, tax changes and inflation.
Mr. Ashdown flew to Scotland to call for higher taxes to be spent on health.
We will begin the long-awaited move back towards a health service based more on prevention rather than exclusively just on cure.
Conservatives are taking comfort from opinion polls showing a narrowing of the Labour lead, but a new poll says voters are turned off by Tory attacks on their opponents, preferring Labour's message, Britain deserves better. John Draper, ITN, Westminster.
Well, one policy on which the Conservatives and Labour broadly agree, zero-tolerance policing, came under fire today. A leading police chief said the policy of cracking down on minor crimes pioneered in New York posed serious dangers.
Zero tolerance, I think New York style's got potential to lead to riots anywhere if you are sweeping beggars and low-level criminals off the street in a way where you haven't got the community support.
The Governing Council of the National Trust is meeting now to decide whether to ban stag hunting on its land. It comes after a study which found that hunting caused as much stress to a deer as a severe injury. Abroad now, and the growing tension on the West Bank erupted into more violence today. In the most serious clash, Israeli soldiers shot and wounded 7 Palestinians during a riot in Hebron.
Hamas supporters burn an effigy of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at a rally in Gaza City. Their anger is at Netanyahu's decision to start work on a Jewish settlement in Arab East Jerusalem. Israeli troops fired tear gas and rubber bullets at Palestinian youths, attacking with stones and petrol bombs. Netanyahu's programme has sparked violent clashes almost every day across the West Bank and Gaza. Palestinians see the programme as a violation of the peace process. They say if the building stops, then Israel will have declared its commitment to peace. Israel says it can build where it likes, in the city it calls the Eternal Capital. Eileen Whelan, ITN.
Protesters who've dug in on the site of Manchester Airport's planned second runway were today ordered to leave by the High Court. The campaigners, who include the tunnel are swampy, said they planned an immediate appeal against the decision. Finally, much of Britain has been making the most of the unseasonal heat wave. Temperatures in the south hit the 70s this afternoon, topping such hot spots as Athens and Algiers, but forecasters warn there's cooler weather arriving for the weekend. In the early evening news, more on that mini heat wave, a full roundup of how the country is being affected, plus the results of the National Trust's vote on deer hunting. Will its members elect to ban the hunters from National Trust land? Join me at 5:40. Until then, goodbye.
Good afternoon, welcome to Calendar. A 61-year-old grandmother has died after being hit by a stolen car in Leeds in West Yorkshire. Violet Burgess-Hunter had crossed the road to go to the local shop when she was run down. Police are now hunting for two men seen running away from the scene.
Violet Burgess-Hunter had left her home in Meanwood in Leeds for just a few minutes to go to a shop across the road. The 61-year-old grandmother had recently recovered from heart surgery. Relatives say she was well known in the local community.
She's a very outgoing, happy type of woman. She was very popular in Meanwood. Just fun-loving. She always had a laugh and a smile. She was just a nice person. Meanwood just walked its same without her.
Two men were seen running away from the scene in Meanwood Road at around 9:30 last night. Police say they're horrified.
This is obviously a tragic incident. We are anxious to trace witnesses to the accident itself, which took place on Meanwood Road. We would also ask that those involved with the vehicle come forward and speak to the police at the earliest opportunity so that we can resolve things.
The car had been stolen earlier in the day in the Headingley area of Leeds. It's now being examined by forensic experts.
A West Yorkshire chemical firm has today been fined £8,000 after one of their supervisors was badly burnt by molten chemicals. The company AH Marks from Wyke in Bradford pleaded guilty at Bradford magistrates today to failing to ensure the man's safety at work. The court heard how Sajid Awan, who's 26, suffered burns to the face, neck and chest and forearm as the company tried out a brand new production process. The firm was fined £7,000 6 years ago when an employee died then in an accident. An official report out this afternoon says the cause of an air crash which killed 4 people in Derbyshire will probably never be known. The light aircraft crashed near Buxton in June last year. Joseph Smith from Waff-on-Dearne was giving his 2 daughters and their friend a flight around the area as a treat. An official investigation found a minor leak at the inlet to a pump, but said that was unlikely to have caused the accident. Well, one of the Church of England's most traditional institutions is raising a few eyebrows in West Yorkshire by admitting men. The Mothers' Union was formed in 1876 to promote Christian family life. In Huddersfield, hundreds of women have taken part in church events over the years, but now 2 male recruits have joined the ranks. Bill Weston and Jack Dodd said they believe in the principles of the group and see no reason why, because they're men, it should prevent them from taking part.
Single-sex organisations, after all, are not so common these days, and you have girls in the Scouts, why not men in the Mothers' Union?
Do they know what they're letting themselves in for? That's all I say. That's all from now. For us from now, don't forget to join us though tonight for Calendar Tonight with Mike and me. When Don Riddell goes rallying, he reaches speeds of up to 100 miles an hour. Let's see how he goes on Calendar at 5 to 6. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Personal natural extracts. I smell orange. I smell rosemary. I smell eucalyptus.
And I smell a rat. At 4 o'clock.
tea. There was bread and butter, and there was always a fresh egg apiece. Mum used to bake a pie or a cake. Sometimes I used to steal a nut off the top when she wasn't looking. The lid didn't match the teapot. It didn't matter. If there's one thing she's taught me to do, it was how to make a proper cup of tea. Unfussy about my tea. I drink Yorkshire tea nowadays. Lovely.
Yorkshire tea. Like tea used to be.
Is your local Bobby bionic? Offer him this and see if his eyes flutter faster than a butterfly in a betting shop.
He's a skinny, smart piggy. He's out of sight. CITV's the place. Slim Pig. For the flippiest.